Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Jericho taking on Dolph Ziggler now for the Undisputed Championship of the world, the SmackDown Brands Championship. Chris Jericho, very, very vocal about how he is going to defend this championship as he makes his entrance into the Money in the Bank. And just notice the strategic planning of Chris Jericho. He has weaseled his way to have his match immediately after the Money in the Bank match. It didn't matter who won. Chris Jericho is fresh, he is ready, and he's going up against Dolph Ziggler right now. And if Justin Gabriel wanted to cash in, he would have to go up against a fresh Chris Jericho immediately after his own match. Justin Gabriel is probably still gassed. He was bleeding in that match just a minute ago. So Justin Gabriel is very weak right now, and it would not be an opportune time for him to cash in Money in the Bank. What a strategic plan by Chris Jericho tonight. He is putting all of his defenses in order. He had John Cena take out Edge and Dolph Ziggler on Friday Night SmackDown, and then he took out John Cena to weaken the champion. He hired Kevin Nash and Drew McIntyre, and look at that, the barricade is still broken out there. Look at that. That's continuity. I like that. They should do that with the announce tables now, and it'd be perfect. Wow, so ladies and gentlemen, what a crazy Money in the Bank. We're going to be Chris Jericho here. It's just been set up for Chris Jericho to defend his championship in an awesome match against Dolph Ziggler. And that's what's going to happen, hopefully. It's been known. If you're new to my channel, my universe mode, and you haven't seen any other pay-per-views, I get screwed over half the time on my pay-per-views. It's just what happens. This game screws me over in so many ways that I have to recover it somehow. And it's just happened again. Justin Gabriel was the last person I want to win. The very last person. And yet he won. And foot and mouth. I should have taken him out of the match, but then I was like, no, I've got to keep him in. It's a challenge now. What am I going to do with Justin Gabriel? I'm certainly not going to have him interrupt this match here because it just wouldn't make sense, and I don't want to do things that don't make a whole lot of sense. Chris Jericho is fresh. He is taking on Dolph Ziggler, a relative rookie, not a real pro yet, not a for sure Hall of Famer. And he's probably going to win his match quite easily. It doesn't make sense for Justin Gabriel to cash in on a champion. This is probably maybe 10 or 15 minutes after winning the Money in the Bank briefcase. Just wouldn't make sense for that to happen so soon because he's so tired and he's so gassed, and Jericho is not going to be hurt. Jericho, a very wise person. He's done all he can to put up all of his defenses as possible in this Money in the Bank pay-per-view. On Friday Night SmackDown, he orchestrated the Champions Invitational, and I am the general manager of SmackDown. I'm trying to make that show better, so I agreed. I was like, Jericho, that's a great idea. Of course, Jericho came up with the Money in the Bank match, and he's just a very good-minded person. He came up with the Champions Invitational, and he used that night to weaken the other champions and solidify his own defenses with this pay-per-view match. What a genius champion is Chris Jericho. Dolph Ziggler here, a very young, bona fide wrestler. He can do it, and I think he will one day. It's just not going to be against me, the Undisputed Champion. He's going to have a miracle draft. He's going to have to go over on Raw. Chris Jericho is not going to lose to someone like Dolph Ziggler. So yeah, in my pay-per-view matches, I've been known to really, things just get screwed up for me. Justin Gabriel winning really screws up my plans. I had so many different ideas for all of those other guys, and now I can't do them, which is a bit of a bummer. But I'm looking forward to this challenge of writing something really good for Justin Gabriel, and I've got a couple of small ideas. I don't know how they'll work out, but we'll just have to see how it works. Dolph Ziggler now trying to get in some offense. Look at that technical skill by Chris Jericho. Jericho tossed over the top rope, looking a little bit like Royal Rumble here in the early goings of this match. And look at Chris Jericho, still as agile as ever. And here we go, Jericho. He's setting up the code breaker. Is this going to be it for Dolph Ziggler? Code breaker. We saw 2 of those on Friday Night SmackDown. Oh, and look at that. Look at that athletic reversal by Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler is not done. Dolph Ziggler is not done. Chris Jericho got too cocky, too confident. We can go over what happened on the end of SmackDown. You guys probably only seen it just a couple hours ago. You did see that it was all Jericho's plan all night to take down the champions. But there was something that Jericho didn't have planned. And after his match with Edge and Dolph Ziggler, Edge disappeared. And you heard his theme music, and on the Titantron, you saw the end is coming. What could that mean for Chris Jericho? He doesn't know, but he's in this match now. He's focused on this, and it was just very strange. Before he codebreakered Dolph Ziggler for a second time and started the beatdown on Cena, that was just a very mysterious message, and Jericho not taking it too seriously. He is a champion. He's a veteran. And he's just going to handle it like he handles every other situation in a calm, wise manner. The way Jericho has put up his defenses for this pay-per-view is a stroke of brilliance. You can see that they have repaired the announce table here. They've brought out a new one for these announcers. And Jericho is really working on Ziggler now. The first codebreaker didn't work on Ziggler. And now he's going to try to do it. What's he going to do? He's just going to punish him. He's just going to punish him. Walls of Jericho on the outside of the ring. There's no way for him to be counted out. Jericho is just trying to weaken Dolph Ziggler. He'll even take a count out. Jericho has all these defenses, the champion advantage. Chris Jericho going for a powerbomb there. Oh, and what is this? What is it? Oh, he's got the Lion Tamer. Lion Tamer on Dolph Ziggler. And he is powered out of both of the walls of Jericho. But this is the Lion Tamer. There's really no way to get out of this one here. Is Dolph Ziggler going to submit? Is he going to succumb? No. Dolph Ziggler reverses it. Dolph Ziggler reverses it. Oh man, this pay-per-view is very exciting for me, people. It's just this is what I've bought this game for, is these moments. And the next time a pay-per-view like this is going to be so unpredictable and crazy is going to be the Royal Rumble. You thought Money in the Bank was insane, and oh my god, Justin Gabriel just won. Wait for the Royal fucking Rumble. Oh man, I'm already stressed out about it. That's going to be insane. 30 men in the ring, all fighting for a chance at the main event of WrestleMania. And what if the wrong guy wins? Oh man, it's not good. Chris Jericho still being very calm here. Going for the Lion Salt. Taken down Ziggles, and here we go again. The walls of Jericho. He's going for the walls of Jericho again. Is this going to be the time that Dolph Ziggler submits? Is this going to be the time that he says it's done? I'm tapping out. Ziggler is crawling towards the ropes. Look at the fight in this young man. Dolph Ziggler impressing many people, and he gets to the ropes. He gets to the ropes. Chris Jericho, a proud lion, stalking his ring. He has been impressive tonight, but Dolph Ziggler has shown a lot of heart. They're getting back in the ring. They're facing off. Who is going to win this match? And here comes Ziggler is out of the ring again. Ziggler is out of the ring again, and look at that. Your champion, Chris Jericho, not running away from the fight. And here they go. They're tangling up again. Suplex. Incoming by your champion. And this is it. Chris Jericho's calling it. Oh, and he gets reversed. Shit. He gets reversed. Ziggler tries for his move. He tries for his move. Chris Jericho got too confident there. Too confident by Jericho, and Jericho's going to end it. He's not taking any chances. He's not taking any chances. Lion Tamer locked in. Is Ziggler going to escape this time? And Ziggler is tapping out. Chris Jericho defending his Undisputed Championship successfully at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Chris Jericho had him in control for most of the match. He lost it at the very end. Dolph Ziggler picked up his finisher and was about to use it on Jericho. Jericho reverses and ends it as any champion should, and he ends it with a Lion Tamer. Let's see if anything comes out of this match, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Jericho is still your Undisputed Champion, and we're just going to move straight on to the next match. I'm going to try to lump these in as closely as possible without going over the time limit. Dean Ambrose taking on Kurt Angle. This is a rivalry match. Dean Ambrose he's been reported as being the crazy guy in the locker rooms, but then Kurt Angle comes along and he's calling himself the Angel of Death and the leader of the Army of Heaven. These two are both created wrestlers. This is a storyline that is totally made up by me with some help from shows like Supernatural, and I've kind of tied in some other shows, and the main gimmick is Kurt Angle believes that he is the angel of the Lord, and he has convinced Zack Ryder and Epico, the Cruiserweight Champion, the same thing, and Dean Ambrose is saying, that's crazy, you're insane, I mean, I've heard of religious nuts, but this is absolutely loco. Dean Ambrose and Kurt Angle signed a contract on Monday Night Raw. It was a very dull contract signing. There is no good contract signing in this game, okay, people? So there's nothing I could have done. And they stated they're just going to have a straight-up one-on-one singles match, and no shenanigans will be happening. This is just going to be a straight-up match. Kurt Angle, a man of his word. You did see Kurt Angle at one time put a bounty out on Dean Ambrose, but he says that was all part of the plan. And when he cashed in, when Zack Ryder cashed in on that bounty, he donated all of Zack Ryder's money. Dumas is his new name now. Zack Ryder's all of his money into charities. So the Army of Heaven have not really done a bad thing, but Dean Ambrose is convinced that this is a corrupt and vile group, and Kurt Angle is their leader. Kurt Angle does not wrestle too often. He is almost shown as the patriarch, the main man calling the shots, and Dean Ambrose is sick of it. It's a one-on-one match here. Dean Ambrose trying to weaken up the Army of Heaven. I don't know what he expects to do. I've seen many people with religious views who, even given straight up facts, will deny them in the name of God. So I don't know what he is doing here to try to convince Kurt Angle that he's crazy. Maybe Kurt Angle already knows he's crazy. What is Dean Ambrose's goal here? Kurt Angle, obviously, he is now calling himself an angel of the Lord, the angel of death, and yet he's still kind of Kurt Angle. He's still that person who enjoys wrestling, who is that Olympic champion, but this is a more important thing in his mind right now. He still comes out to the pyro. He still loves his fans. He'll still sign autographs. He's just had a change of character, is Kurt Angle, and people in the back, the locker room, they're starting to get used to this side of Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle's he's never been known as a very charitable type of man, but in the past months that he's been around, he has been very involved in helping the communities whenever he's in town. In this town today, earlier we had a Be a Star rally. Kurt Angle was the first one there and the last one to leave. Kurt Angle, there is nothing that can be said that is bad about this guy, but Dean Ambrose is convinced he has made it, and Dean Ambrose is insane, people. Dean Ambrose is crazy. So in his mind, he is seeing Kurt Angle as being this fake guy. So this is a very intriguing rivalry here. Dean Ambrose has been getting a little frustrated with the Army of Heaven in later weeks. They've taken him out, so he has started to take them out. Dumas was a victim. Epico was busy one night, so luckily for him, he wasn't a victim. But, Dumas, he was just messed up that one night, and Dean Ambrose cost him his opportunity at a place in the Money in the Bank match. Kurt Angle and Dean Ambrose putting on a very good skill here, a skill-based match. Dean Ambrose has a lot of tosses, a lot of hip tosses, back slams. Kurt Angle, very mat-based, submission-based wrestler. Who is going to come out on top in this match? Kurt Angle with a running DDT. Dean Ambrose getting out of the ring, taking a break. This storyline has, it's really evolved since we first saw it. We first opened this storyline with Kurt Angle debuting as an angel called Azrael. So very, very strange. Dean Ambrose, again, trying to regroup and take on the Olympic champion. And so far, so good. They said that they just wanted a clean one-on-one match, and, well, look what's going on here. A clean one-on-one match. A very no-bullshit type of a match here, excuse my French, if any of you Kurt Angle fans take it super seriously. This end up. What a stupid sign. I've never seen that sign before. I don't ever want to see it again. Get out of the arena and get out of the state and get out of the country, as Damien Sandow would say. That sign's terrible.
Oh my gosh. Azrael just got flattened. Got out of the way of that one.
Dean Ambrose trying to take control, but every time he does, Kurt Angle just comes back. Over the top rope for Dean Ambrose. And over the top rope again with a hip top for Dean Ambrose. And Kurt Angle. Oh, look at this. A German suplex from Kurt Angle here. And he's getting out. He's getting out. He knows. He knows that the end is near. Dean Ambrose. What is his plan here? And look. Oh, close, but no cigar. Look at the cradle. Look at the cradle. He's cradling him up. I don't think so. I don't think so. And he's trying to stop the momentum of Kurt Angle. He needs to get him out of the way now, and Kurt Angle going for the Angle Slam, or should we call it the Angel Slam now, going for the pin. 1, 2, oh, and Dean Ambrose kicking out. Dean Ambrose kicking out. Kurt Angle, look at that, and now he's going for a submission. Very wise move by Kurt Angle. Holy shit, holy shit, oh god, oh god, and look at that, Dean Ambrose has tapped out to the submission specialist of Kurt Angle. Dean Ambrose has lost to the leader of Army of Heaven. Kurt Angle has beat him tonight. Kurt Angle was the better man. And maybe this will convince Dean Ambrose that there is nothing wrong with Kurt Angle and his group. They may be a little insane. They might have changed their names a little bit. But there is nothing wrong with what they're doing. They have been nothing but nice. They're helping people out. They're winning matches, becoming champions. Later tonight, they have a tag team championship match that I'm hoping personally that they win. But man, I mean, Kurt Angle is, there's nothing wrong with him. And look at that, a real Olympic champion there. And I see nothing wrong. I'm actually liking the Army of Heaven. Yeah, even though they've had a little bit of a bad thing lately. I mean, they are really trying to change their ways. Ladies and gentlemen, see where this story goes tomorrow night live on Monday Night Raw. And we might be getting a Justin Gabriel promo tomorrow night as well. But Kurt Angle winning that match very easily. Thank you for watching this video. Go ahead, like, favorite, comment, subscribe. Do what you got to do. And stay tuned because there's more on the way. We still have the WWF Championship match between HBK and Stone Cold Steve Austin. We still have the tag team match, the Divas match, and the coveted WWE Championship match. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Derek D. Ginger King, the best universe mode in the world. And I am checking out.